What's up, guys? It's me, Pez Flips, and today I am joined with the one and only G10 WRAITH, someone that I have learned a lot about and that I have come to the conclusion is awesome. I love this thing. It sounds really good, feels great in the hands, and most importantly, flips really good. Now, there's a few changes that I'd like to make with this guy, and I think one of the first things that I mentioned when I did my unboxing video out, if you haven't seen it, is that it's kind of wobbly. It's a little wobbly, and I think that's because the stock spacers are just a little bit on the heavier side, and those stock spacers are right there. What the heck? Well, what does that mean? It means something has changed. Oh my god, that was a horrible fan switch. So let's listen to that change. What do you think it is? Oh, it's a full channel G10 spacer, I think, or something 3D printed. I don't know. The guy who I bought this from realized that he still had these full channel spacers that he had never opened up. And to that, he said, hey, do you want them? And I ended up picking them up for around 25 bucks, including shipping, and it got here about a week later. So I ended up installing them, and let me tell you, that sucked. That sucked. And it sucked for a couple of reasons. I went to the beach this weekend, and while I was at the beach, I flipped this guy around and whatever, and I decided, you know what, whatever, I'll go on a run. Let's go on a run. Never ran on the beach before. Might as well run barefoot too. I'm running on the beach barefoot, and I noticed, man, like I'm banging my feet a lot more because usually I'm used to like my running shoes that have a pretty healthy amount of cushion in them. And at this moment, you know, I'm like moving up and down probably more than I should. And I was focusing on that. I'm about 5 miles into my run, 4 or 5 miles. And I'm running, and my music cuts out, and I'm like, well, what the heck's going on? Like, my headphones messed up, so I turn off the headphones, and all of a sudden, I realize my phone's not in my pocket, and I've been running on the side of the beach with the waves, so my phone is in the ocean. So I frantically go to look for it, unable to find it. I'm exhausted already, because I was almost done with my run, and I'm like, oh, no way this just happened. No way my phone is gone. It's just simply not true. And, well, I couldn't find it. So then I try to go back home to, like, a rental, and I can't remember where it is. I was, like, so shaken by everything else. So I'm struggling to find that. And then finally I found my dad, and I'm like, yo, I need you to call my girlfriend because they have me on Find My iPhone so they can try to find it. Well, long story short, we never did find it. So, you know, if you see on your timeline, like, a fish who, like, you know, posts a Balisong flipping clip or something, then just know that they finally found my phone, and they're trying to, you know, take up the hobby themselves, take over the channel. But as it stands, I didn't have a phone all weekend, so I couldn't record, I couldn't do anything like that. But I got to spend a lot of time flipping with this guy, and I loved it. I loved it, because this guy's awesome. So I'm glad I brought him. But then, yesterday, we played Foosball. And, I'm a good foosball player. What we did is, you know, every time the winner won, they'd stay in, but they would take a shot. And your boy, not really much of a drinker. I partake in other areas of life. But drinking is not really something I love, just because I get really sick quite quickly. So it's been some time since I've drank, and because of that, and because I'm just so freaking good at foosball, I got way too drunk. I got so drunk that I was spewing chunks at the end of the night, and here I am today, still hungover, and it's like 7 o'clock right now. So while I'm hungover, and it's like the first hot day in Salem it's been for a long time, or not Salem, Eugene, while it's like the first hot day it's been in a long time, I I'm trying to like work out getting a phone, and that's taking all day because I have to call 3 different places, give them like my info, and then I have to buy the phone, and then they say you can't buy the phone unless you pay it outright in cash, or you can do their payment plan. So I can't pull out $800 in cash from an ATM because my bank's not in Eugene, and I have a withdrawal limit. So I am forced to do their payment plan, which is great. You know, I think I ended up paying more for a payment plan to have it financed, which is awesome. Basically, they create the rule and then get to profit from that. You know, I love phone companies. But it is crazy that I can buy this phone, an iPhone 15, for $35 up front. It's just weird. I don't know. But I have this phone, which is exactly the same as the other one. But let me tell you, dude, I'm hungover. I'm like, okay, let's put the new stocks in because I got nothing else going on. It sucked. It sucked. I was hungover. Didn't really feel good. And then another thing, the first one that I put in, it's uneven. It's uneven. Do you see that? It's like smushed on this guy. And I put it in, and then I realized, oh my God, it doesn't work. And I had a driver. I thought this worked. It doesn't even fit. So I had to use these guys. And I'm holding this guy between my legs, going like, meep, meep, you know, like on both sides, and it just doesn't work. So then I finally, through fiddling and such, I get it to go, and the thing is, these guys don't line up all the way, so anyways, it just took a long time. I had eventually got into the groove and got it settled. I ended up cleaning it out too, in like the pivot area, because like the wash and such was wearing out, was like wearing down and creating some buildup in the pivot area. So I cleaned that up, and you can kind of see the remnants of that. It was actually quite a dirty knife here. And then oiled it up, and it does sound much better. I will say that one of the screws is a little loose. Like, it wants to loosen pretty quickly, and that kind of creates a little bit of a tap situation. But in terms of the weight, how is the flipping? I think the flipping is actually better. It is not that big of a difference. It is a difference, but it is not that big of a difference, and that's a good thing. I was honestly kind of worried that the stocks were going to change it too much, and then I wasn't going to have any end weight, and then it was going to be me stuck between the decision of having something that's too handle heavy or something that's a little too blade bias. But the good thing is these stocks don't change it too much. So it's quite close to the other one, and it does one vital thing that this thing needs, which is give it jimping, because no jimping on this guy sucks. Like, the ladders get away from you. I mean, the jimping on this one isn't really that crazy. I wish it was a little farther up. You have a full channel, and they only go that high. It's a little disappointing. But I do like how it's inside jimping. I feel like that you don't really see that too often. But it fans a lot smoother while still maintaining a handle bias feel. So it's kind of the best of that. I will say another thing. I don't know if Will Hirsch mentioned this when he was talking about this knife, but the Zen cup for the safe handle feels like you're cutting your finger. When you do something, it's not all the time, but every once in a while when you do like a rotation at the same time, everything is smooth except for that area. And I'm thinking, oh my God, am I going to be like, bleeding or something afterwards? But it doesn't actually happen. So that is something that I might look into a fix for, but it's kind of tough too because I have the acid or the stain wash on here, stone wash, acid wash, whatever, which would be very obvious if I did sand that away. But here I am, a knife that I have invested my own work into a little bit more, and that I have adored flipping. And because I had to spend money on a new phone, I want to recuperate some of that. That involves selling most of those. So I'll probably make a separate video where I list the guys that I want to get rid of, because there are some really good ones that might be going up for sale. The Opus might be one of them. But we'll see. I have a couple of other things on the agenda. I want to do an update on the Static Knives Kraken beater, my beater update. Been loving this guy too. He's seen quite a bit of action. So there's your little mini update. And then I need to still tune this, my Franken Nami. But once this guy's tuned, I'll make a video on him as well. I'm just lazy, but I have all of spring break to mess around with stuff. So, because I also have spring break because I work at a school, which is cool. But anyways, I will post the guy who makes these spacers in the comment section because I can't remember who they are, but it's been Pez Flips, and you know, please, if you feel so inclined, leave a rip in the chat because yeah, you know, old Pez phone, no longer with us. Let's try to do something that I've been trying to work on, which is holy cow, I'm crazy. Keep it going. Okay, well, that's it. It's been Pez Lips. Bye, bye, bye.